Hello and welcome back to Crypto Saving Experts, where we talk about the latest cryptocurrency news and take a look at the markets so that we all know exactly what is happening. My name is Jess and we do these live streams every single weekday. So if you are new here, please don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that bell notification button. Let's see what's going on in the cryptocurrency news this morning. So first of all, we can see that Bitcoin is trading at $29,090, down again another 1.27%. We are now seeing Ethereum down as well, 1.4% to $1,831. Now, what does this mean for the markets? Are we in for more sideways action, or are we going to start seeing movements to the upside or to the downside? That's the question we're all asking. I'm going to be talking about that at the end of today's stream. We will be analysing the price of Bitcoin, and I've got some new information to share there, some interesting topics to discuss there, so make sure to stay tuned until the very end. Let's see what's going on in the cryptocurrency news though. So first of all, we have GRAYSCALE and 5 others file for Ethereum future ETFs. So 6 Ethereum future applications are now awaiting approval by the SEC. And didn't we say here on the channel, this is exactly what we were going to see? This is something we have predicted here for a while now. So 6 investment companies are back in the race to launch an Ethereum futures ETF, despite the SEC previously issuing a warning on similar efforts in May. So on Tuesday, GRAYSCALE Investments, ProShares, VanEck, Roundhill and Bitwise submitted applications with the SEC to debut an Ethereum futures ETF, Bloomberg ETF analyst Henry Jim has reported. So the move comes after Volatility Shares submitted a fresh application for a similar product, Ether Strategy ETF, as revealed on the 28th of July. And the fund will primarily invest in cash-settled contracts referencing Ether on the CME. So this is something we've seen historically for Bitcoin. What happened for Bitcoin was the SEC approved the first Bitcoin futures ETF in October 2021. And since then, they've approved many similar products. And now we are seeing applications for spot Bitcoin ETFs. Now, could the same sort of path be occurring for Ethereum, where we see Ethereum futures ETFs being accepted and launching, and then in a couple of months' time, in a couple of years' time, we see Ethereum spot Ethereum ETFs being applied for as well. Now, with all of these things, they are offering traditional investors to get exposure to the cryptocurrency space without doing any extra research, signing up for centralized exchanges, learning how to use self-custody, just getting exposure to the cryptocurrency space through their normal means of investment. So this is brilliant for exposure to traditional investors, and it also shows that these companies are building and the industry is growing, and it gives the industry some legitimacy in a sense. It's not just the Wild West anymore. We have ETFs launching and applications for ETFs for the SEC, and that makes it a lot more serious for some people that aren't in the space. A lot of people look at crypto and think it's a scam, it's this, it's that, all the rest of it. But when we see these big companies making filings like this, you can sort of see people are turning around and saying, what, is this actually something we need to look at? And then we are going to start seeing adoption from the back of this, I do believe. Anyway, that was a lot of talking very, very fast. Thank you for joining in once again. Good morning to everybody in the chat. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. The next story we have here today is about Ripple. So let's pull this up quickly. Let's make sure it's all running smoothly. Here we go. So the Ripple... that's not the story we want, it's this one. The Ripple CEO criticizes SEC's utilization of the XRP report. Now, XRP have been trying to become more transparent. And if we take a look at this, you can see that Gardenhouse has emphasised the company had voluntarily provided reports to offer updates on their XRP holdings. And now these reports have been used by the SEC in court against Ripple. So Ripple are saying, look, you want more transparency. We created these reports to do so, and now you're using these reports against us. So let's take a look at this a second. What we can see here is he expressed frustration that the SEC had now turned these reports against Ripple in legal proceedings. And while restarting the company's dedication to transparency, Gardenhouse hinted at potential adjustments in future reports. Let's take a look at this. My throat is unbelievably sore this morning. Let's see what's going on here. Ripple's Q2 2023 XRP markets report, made public on the 31st of July, offered unique insights into the ongoing legal situation. It focused on key developments, including Judge Torres's summary judgment ruling, which aimed to clarify misunderstandings and illuminate Ripple XRP's holdings. So they have now used this report against XRP, something that the CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, is very unhappy with. It's very, ask for transparency and then use any documents they release against them. Not ideal, but is that something that everyone would do? Potentially. Not that I'm siding with the SEC. Let's move on to the next story here. Let's see what's going on here. Please don't forget, if you have just joined today's stream, to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. Let's see what's going on here. So we have Kenya suspends WorldCoin operations amid regulatory scrutiny. So Kenya is the first country to completely suspend their WorldCoin operations. Now, WorldCoin is the new project that has launched, and it has the same creator as let's reword that. A project co-founded by OpenAI's Sam Altman. Now, OpenAI is the company that has created ChatGPT. So just having Sam Altman on board on this project has really caused a huge amount of hype for WorldCoin. We've seen a huge amount of people queuing up to get involved in WorldCoin, and we are now actually seeing Kenya's Ministry of the Interior has taken action against WorldCoin. So they've suspended its operations to investigate its legitimacy and data protection measures, as stated on the ministry's Facebook page. So concerns have been expressed about WorldCoin's activities, particularly its involvement in registering citizens through collecting iris data. So WorldCoin's ambitious goal is to create a global identification mechanism based on iris scans, aiming to provide a unique and human-proof identity for agents in an economy where AI plays a significant role. However, the collection of biometric data and the sign-up process, especially in developing countries, have faced criticism and accusations of exploitation. So adding to the regulatory actions, Kenya's Capital Markets Authority issued a statement warning the public about the project, clarifying that they had not regulated. They raised further concerns about potential fraudulent schemes in the over-the-counter market of crypto tokens. Despite the warning, the CMA expressed a willingness to collaborate with the company through its regulatory sandbox. So we're seeing a lot of talk about this token right now, WorldCoin. So it has, as I just said, been co-founded by the creators of OpenAI, who've created ChatGPT. There's a huge amount of hype around this token. A lot of people are very excited to see how this performs. I mean, you can see the hype all over the world when you're seeing people queuing up to get their irises scanned. We're also seeing a lot of people talking about it on social media. And we all know that for a cryptocurrency to do well, it needs hype. So that is creating a lot of excitement in the markets. However, we have seen a few concerns around this project. We've seen Vitalik Buterin step up and say the tokenomics look a little bit concerning. We're now seeing Kenya suspend the project in the region, and we could see regulatory concerns continue around this project as time goes on. So we really do need to keep an eye on that. The token has been very volatile. So we'll see how this plays out, but it's a very interesting project, and it is seeing a lot of media coverage. And as I always say, media coverage around cryptocurrency is what we need. We need adoption, and we need more people to understand the technology a little bit more and gain an interest in the technology. Let's continue now and take a look at the next article. Before we do, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button. So what we have here is $90 billion of Binance's monthly traded volume comes from China. So China remains Binance's most prominent market despite the 2021 ban on crypto trading and mining within the country. Now, I'm sure many of you here remember this. In 2021, we saw China flip-flopping on its rules on how it was going to stop cryptocurrency mining, cryptocurrency trading, changing their mind quite frequently there. But an estimated $90 billion of Binance's monthly trade volume originates from mainland China. So it's no secret that residents of China continue to trade and mine digital assets within the mainland. And what we are seeing here is there is a blanket ban on traders in China, but it's made up a majority of users on popular crypto platforms such as Binance, Huobi, KuCoin, and OKX. So it's still Binance's largest market, which is insane. And we can see here that trade volume from China will be essential in keeping Binance afloat. And that is according to the Wall Street Journal. Now, we're seeing a lot of concerns around Binance in the US right now. The SEC have obviously sued them and accused them of operating as an unregistered exchange, unregistered securities exchange, and they've accused them of mixing money between all of Binance's affiliates. So Binance has Binance.com, Binance US, it has Binance Australia, it has all of these different affiliates, and in the filings against Binance from the SEC, it accused them of mixing behind the scenes in ways that it shouldn't. So we still need to see how this is going to play out. This didn't really affect the markets that much, but you can see they have a massive market still in China. So according to the Wall Street Journal, this is what's keeping them afloat right now. We've seen a lot of selling pressure on Binance Australia's exchange, so much so that we actually saw the price of Bitcoin dump massively from the selling pressure. We've seen market makers moving off the platforms for a couple of its affiliates, so their trading volumes are down in other areas. But with China being their most prominent market, despite the 2021 ban, they must be keeping them a huge amount of trading volume on the platform, despite all these regulatory concerns. But let's take a look at the next story now and see what else is going on. Before we continue, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. Here we have SBF denies witness tampering allegations and lawyer says no need to revoke bail. So SBF's attorney requested that the court impose a gag order as already agreed by the former CEO. Mark Cohen, the lawyer representing SBF, founder and former CEO of bankrupt crypto exchange FTX, has denied witness tampering allegations from the US Department of Justice, insisting the court has no reason to revoke their client's bail. So we are seeing more news about SBF as time goes on. He is back in the media once again. We've spoke about him a lot here on the channel. I'm going to drop the link to this in the chat, but let me know if this is interesting you or if you are sick of hearing about SBF, because I'm sick of hearing about him. Let's see what's going on here. If you want more articles about the history of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, make sure to go to cryptosavingexpert.com. We are doing lots of in-depth articles right now. We have lots of free cryptocurrency courses up there right now. We have amazing cryptocurrency guides that I would really recommend you take advantage of. If you go to cryptosavingexpert.com and you press this big blue button, you can sign up completely for free and get access to the entire website for free. There's 13,000 other people that are doing that, so make sure you don't fall behind those 13,000 people. Learn about the markets, learn about the different trading indicators, how to incorporate them in your trading, and learn how to become experienced in the cryptocurrency markets. Let's see what's going on here. So let's move on to the next one here. Department of Justice is considering fraud charges against Binance. So let's take a look at this one. This is a big story this morning. The Department of Justice is allegedly considering charging the largest crypto exchange, Binance, with fraud. So the Department of Justice is worried about prosecuting Binance. So they've said by looking at other options than prosecuting the exchange, they are looking at other options other than prosecuting the exchange. So according to the People, the Department of Justice is worried that I always get this wrong. Indicting Binance might result in a run on the exchange similar to the situation faced by FTX, where it went bankrupt. To reduce potential harm to customers, the prosecutors are considering alternatives like fines and deferred or non-prosecution agreements, the People said. Previously, it had been speculated that Binance may face criminal charges by the Justice Department related to money laundering. In June, a former officer of the SEC said the Department of Justice will likely file or has already filed under seal a Binance-related criminal indictment. So someone's commented in the chat, Black Sales has said Binance with buy at the start. I mean, potentially, but it looks like here they are going to be trying for other means. I mean, as I always say with this, and always on the channel, make sure to store your cryptocurrency safely. I cannot express that enough. If you look at the tiers of safety on different ways of holding your cryptocurrency, you'll understand this a little bit more. Centralized exchanges, not your keys, not your crypto. You are in, many people come into cryptocurrency to have self-custody, and then they hold all of their funds on centralized exchanges, and it's so frustrating to see. And with FTX, that was a bit of a warning sign, a lesson for us all. Don't just trust them because they've been fine in the past. Be very careful. If you go to cryptosavingexpert.com and you go to the courses section, if you go to Crypto 101 and you go to, let's find it, we've got how to get into crypto, what is DeFi, crypto and AI, online safety. If you go to online safety, you can learn about how to stay safe online with all your self-custody tokens. And then we also have courses on how to guide. We have guides, that's what I'm looking for. If you go to the guide section at the top here, we've got information on all of the different wallets that you could be using to store your cryptocurrency safely, both software wallets and hardware wallets there as well. So let's see what's going on. Robert says, checked it out, loads of interesting stuff on it. You've done loads on there, Jess. Thank you very much for checking it out. Definitely recommend, if you haven't already, take advantage of the information. It's only going to get better. We've got some big changes coming to the website soon as well. Nothing I can spill, I don't think, just yet. Maybe potentially that Martini guy did do a tweet and list some potential features a couple of weeks ago now. But we've got some exciting stuff coming very soon. So make sure to sign up before then so you get access to all of that. Let's see what else is going on in the markets. eToro have been sued by Australian regulator for high risk offering. So the Australian Securities and Investments Commission has sued eToro over its contract for difference CFD trading product. The regulator claims the product's target market was too broad for such a high risk and volatile trading product. So we are seeing, I mean, there's always issues with this and regulators. What we've seen in the last couple of years is prior to like 10 years ago, it was a very few amount of people. It was a very select amount of crowd of people that could trade and invest in things like this so freely and invest and trade 24/7. And now literally anybody can download an app on their phone, invest some money, trade some money 24/7 on these applications. So with that, the regulation is sort of changing because they need to make sure that their investments are safe for the general population now. So we're seeing a lot of regulation all over the board right now. And we are obviously seeing here today, eToro have been sued by Australian regulator for high risk offering there. But let's take a look at the price of Bitcoin now. This is what we want to discuss today. Let's see what's going on. We have had, what's happened here? I've come to a conclusion here myself. Obviously nothing here is financial advice. I spend all day looking at this chart and I've come to a conclusion. So we've had Bitcoin in this $2,000 range from $29,500 to $31,500 for over a month. And then eventually we broke down below it. So right now, if you take a look at the daily chart here, you can see we have a level of support here. At what point is it at now? 28,240. Now, I would say this is a pretty strong level of support. Every time we've hit it, we've seen a very big bounce off it. But what's going to happen now? So as I keep saying, we have 9 months until the Bitcoin halving. And we have what I like to call a cap on where the price can go until then, and a cap on how low the price can go until then as well. So I believe, I mean, if you take a look at previous cycles, when we have the Bitcoin halving, we don't create a new all-time high until after the Bitcoin halving, until around 3 months after the Bitcoin halving. So if the previous cycles were going to be projected onto the current markets, I would be looking at around $50,000 for Bitcoin in April and $70,000 for Bitcoin in July, August. Now, with that in mind, what does that mean for the price now? Now, that puts a very close limit, I would say, on the, close, I'm saying close, it's about 66% rise from here to get to $50,000, but that puts a limit on how much upwards potential we could see for Bitcoin within the next 9 months, waiting for that Bitcoin halving. Obviously, this is all just my own opinion. Things can change, the cycles can change, and just projecting the previous data onto the current data and seeing how that looks. So what we can see here is we have that sort of cap on the price there. We also, if we take a look at the downside, we've seen a lot of FUD in the markets, and things don't seem to be able to push Bitcoin much lower. Obviously, we did get to $16,000 late last year, but we've seen people accumulating their Bitcoin ready for the next bull run. So right now, we've seen a lot of fear. I don't think that I already think that the bottom is in. I personally don't think we will get down below $16,000 once again. However, there are things that could change that. For example, black swan events, COVID-19. We thought we were at the bear market, and then all of a sudden we had $3,000 Bitcoin once again. That was completely unexpected. That would not have happened to the markets if the pandemic didn't exist. So there is always possibilities of us seeing new lows or retesting those lows. But in the scenario that there's not a black swan event, this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the bottom already being in. I'm looking at who's accumulated since the bottom and who's holding for the long term. I'm looking at all the negative things that have happened this year and how we held those supports. And I'm thinking to myself, we have that limit at the top. We have some very strong supports below us, which we didn't even manage to break through when Binance and Coinbase got sued within 2 days. So I'm looking at this and thinking, we have that cap on the bottom as well. So if we're stuck within this range for the next 9 months, what's going to happen here? And my conclusion is sideways action. And I know no one wants to hear that. When the markets get boring, that's when everyone leaves. But really, I think that could be the killer here. 9 months of sideways action. So we've already seen a month here where we had a $2,000 range. We've now broken to the downside. Imagine if we just have another month of sideways action, and then maybe we break to the downside once again. Another month of sideways action. That would kill us all with boredom, and that is the path of most pain. Bitcoin likes to take the path of most pain. Everyone thinks that it needs to be in volatility, but we're coming close to the next Bitcoin halving, and sideways action is something that I think we're going to see more of until then. Because when we have that cap above us and that cap below us, and a 9-month period until that sort of shifts and the sentiment changes for that, what else can we do? That's what I'm thinking anyway. Obviously, nothing is financial advice, but the more I look at it, the more I see it happening. And that is why I'm shifting my focus from breakout trading to swing trading. But obviously, every trader is different. As the markets change, we need to adapt in that way. But this is what I think is happening right now. I'm sorry to say it. Obviously, I love volatility in the markets, but it's just not something that I think we're going to get very, very soon, unless some big news comes out. We have some really positive news or some really negative news. I think we could see some more sideways action. So just be prepared for that. Just be careful. Obviously, nothing is financial advice. I could be completely wrong. Who knows? We'll have to sit through and find out, though. If you are wanting to stay tuned on the latest cryptocurrency news, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. That is all we have for today. Thank you very much for watching.